Welcome to Plugged In Chatham-Kent, your business podcast. I'm Andrew, work in economic development, work in communications here. To the right of me, I have, if you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Samantha McFadden with Advanced Basement Systems.
Hey, Samantha, thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, well, you're a marketing person, and so we're like kindred spirits.
Yes, yeah, we have that bond, the unspoken bond.
There's so much I want to talk to you about today, but you have totally not prepared for it.
No,
I told you any of this, so I'm like, I sent you a message, and you were kind of to respond. So thank you.
Yes.
So, Advanced Basements. Do you want to tell me a bit about that start? Because that's...
Yeah, so I started with the business in January of 2019, so just this year. But they have had their doors open for 16 years, over 16 years now. And they do everything, all things basementy is what we like to say. So basement waterproofing, crawl space encapsulation, foundation repairs, and then radon mitigation.
I'm going to make a note on that.
Yeah.
All things basementy.
All things basementy. That's kind of our tagline that we like to use.
That's good.
Yeah.
Don't autocorrect me to basement. It was basementy.
Yes.
That's right. Sorry.
That's okay, no worries.
I make notes as we go along. And then I put them in the show notes. Like your website address will be in there as well.
Oh, perfect,
okay?
yes.
All right. So, yeah, 2003 is what I
Yes.
saw.
Yeah.
And you're over 30 people. Like, that's...
Yeah, and it's crazy to think because poor Martin, who started the company, who's still the owner of the company, he's telling me stories about how he got it started, and he would do, go and fix people's basements in the morning and then go to a sales call in the afternoon. And it was just him and his wife running it. And now it's grown to like 30, I think we just added 38 people now. And so it continues to grow. We're always looking for more and more production guys because, things this year was really wet and we're really busy. So we're happy to see that. So it continues to grow. But yeah, it's crazy to think where it started and where it is now.
The first thing I saw when I loaded up the website is that right at the top you have a banner saying we're hiring.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's really impressive that, for a Chatham company like that to be growing in such a way.
Yes.
I have notes on where your locations, not locations, but where your coverage area is. But why don't you say where your coverage area is?
Well, we go all the way up to, I guess, Kincardine. We kind of cut across there and then come down like London, Chatham-Kent, and then Windsor is like our big kind of overall triangle area is what we like to say.
That's cool.
Yes.
On the subject of wet basements and another sort of rainy day out there and everything, I was curious, are people more proactive, or are you finding they're very, as in, like, they bought a house and they go, I should fix my basement, or is it one of those things where they've been there for 10 years and suddenly the sump pumps failed, or what are people proactive, reactive? What do you find?
I think that a lot of people are more reactive.
Okay.
They have to kind of see that the water is coming in their basement. And that they're, like, oh no, like, look, our stuff is ruined. We went through a flood. We've experienced all this wetness. So they're kind of more, I think, reactive to it than proactive. And unfortunately, like I just learned a couple weeks ago, it takes the average homeowner 5 years to establish that they really want this to finally get fixed after seeing the initial problem. So, I mean, it's not something easy. It's not pretty. It's just, a good thing to do.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And I guess it's one of those things where it's hard to be proactive in some ways because you don't know it's a problem. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's fair. So what are some of the fun jobs you've heard stories about? I was curious about this.
Man, there's so many. And I, luckily being marketing, I go out to a lot of the job sites and take photos and videos of the guys, and they always like to fill me in on some of the good ones that they've had. But not that has happened to us, that I've heard within the Basement Systems network. Was one of the best stories I heard, and I was like, oh wow, like I couldn't imagine that happening in Chatham-Kent, but it happened to this gentleman. I think he was from West Virginia. He was in a crawl space and he came face to face with a mountain lion that had made himself a home down there.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Like, he's like, I crawled out of there so fast and just hustled, and I was like, oh, I'd be terrified. Good thing we don't have those in our area, but...
Was he the homeowner or working?
He was one of the workers.
He was working there.
Yeah, he was going into the crawl space to do an inspection. He said he saw some green eyes coming at him, and he thought it was just a pet cat.
Sure.
And then next thing you know, the thing got closer and it got bigger. And then he realized what it was. And he was like, oh, I gotta get the other way out of there. So
yeah, there's no women's training for that kind of thing.
No, I don't know if that's a health and safety concern or what that is, but
that's wild.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that you likely, is it Wallaceburg that has the cougar or something? I heard about this mysterious cougar in there. Maybe
I don't know. None of our guys have said they've come across that, but thankfully, you hear the odd story about running into a snake, and
sure.
And I'm like, that's the day I'm not going in that crawl space to take your picture. I'm good. I don't need that. But
did you do most of the photos on the site then?
Majority of them that's uploaded. We do send out our guys with, their phones and some iPads to take pictures of like kind of more before and after photos, but the social media for sure is mostly the photos that I've went out now and have taken. Yeah, I was
checking out a lot of the before and after stuff.
Yes,
and it's such a drastic difference. Like,
it is.
It's so cool. I'm impressed with like not only just fixing the problem, but like it looks like insulation as well, and going in and actually making the basement maybe not sometimes livable space, but a space that is usable, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's huge, especially around here.
Yeah, exactly. Especially around this area, even having the crawl space encapsulated makes a huge difference too on your home. Like especially now that we're getting into that colder weather, it's important to have your floors warm, and encapsulating your crawl space makes a huge difference. And even insulating your basement makes a huge difference for the level that's above it for sure. And having all that done.
How does that, so from an environmental perspective, I mean, it must make the house more efficient, that sort of thing?
Yes, yeah. So it makes everything, obviously warmer. You're not paying as much on your bills. And then having it so you don't have to, have that worry too. I think that's kind of the big issue that we kind of put forward for our sales guys is, you don't have to worry about whether or not you go to work and it's raining and is your sump pump really going to back up that water? Is your basement going to be flooded by the time you get home? So it's just having that security blanket too. So I think that's what makes everybody feel a little bit better about, getting the work done and having it done right.
I know down in Windsor there were some areas that were experiencing a lot of flooding recently. Are you involved in any of those projects or?
Yeah. We have done quite a bit of work in the Windsor area. And then we, with Windsor, luckily the government or the municipality gave them a grant for homeowners to get the sub pumps in, because a lot of people didn't have those in their homes before all the flooding. So we found that really helped, us, and being able to work together with the homeowners to get the grants, and then, obviously us install the sump pumps so that they're ready for the next big flood that might come their way.
that's yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. I had an older home in Chatham at one point, and I know the pain of an old house, 100+ years old.
Yes.
Didn't have a sump pump, didn't have this thing, had the leaky basement, and the work that is involved in making it so much better.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
I felt the pain, and it's real.
It is. That's like same thing with when I first moved into my house. The crawl space had to be fully redone, and some of the floors were sloping, so we put in our smart jack system to kind of make sure they were all level, and I wasn't gonna
like the main floors of the house.
Yeah, so really? It was just a 1-story house, and they kind of had the slope going, so I had to have a couple dogs, and I was tripping on them, and I was like, oh yeah, it's time to get those fixed before I put a new flooring into my new house too.
So you can actually go in and level out the floors of a house.
Yep.
As well.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know.
So that's part of the crawl space part of our business, but we also do foundation fixes. So a lot of people with the ground, especially in Canada, doing the thaw and the freeze, it kind of plays with the ground quite a bit, and then that way people's any additions start to kind of slowly move away from the house, we find, or anything like that, and we do have all the materials and stuff that you need to fix that.
I bet there are some very good stories that you probably can't share, but there's some very, very good stories about that.
There's been a lot of people's homes that you feel awful, right? Because that's your house, that's your comfort zone, that's where you want to live, and you just see the things that happen, and you just know, like, oh, the poor family is now going through all that, having to spend the money and fix it now. And
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you are you involved in, say, exterior drainage solutions? So I think of like eaves troughs that run straight into the foundation. Do you look at causes of problems, or?
We definitely do. Our sales guys, when they go and present to the homeowners, they look at, what's causing the issue and explaining that, and then obviously the best way to fix it. Sometimes it is, helping not only fix the inside of the basement. We do a lot of interior work, and then telling them that they might have to regrade the side of their house, just to say that water, the way your house is sitting with the ground, it's kind of more directing it towards your home, and you might want to just take that extra step and move it away from your house for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I had a place I moved into years ago. The drain spout right off the roof, which basically collected everything, went straight into the ground, like right there.
Oh, okay.
And so just diverting made a huge difference.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It was funny because you'd see this puddle form when it starts to rain. I'm like, this is terrible. So, $20 worth of big O pipe and divert it away from the house, and it makes a big difference. So,
it does, yeah.
Now other work had to be done on basement things, but yeah, that was being sort of reactive because it was standing in the rain, going.
Yeah, exactly. I think
how did I not catch this? Yeah. Anyhow, okay. So you mentioned social media. I wanted to pick your brain about marketing.
Yes.
What do you find is working for you?
So we have found, my background actually, when I originally graduated from college, I went into the TV market. So I produced TV for a number of years, and when I started with Ben, and that's kind of one thing he said to me, is like, I want more videos. Now they're saying, I believe the statistics show 88% of people would rather view their content in a video than, reading it or scrolling through it. So we're doing a lot more video.
Really?
Basically having either our foreman or our sales guys or our vice president take everybody through, step by step the job process, and having that information out there and showing it, before we even get to their home. They find out like, oh, that video really helped me understand it before you guys even came into this. So.
Oh, I see. So educational
videos, okay. Yeah. Right. And then too, we're finding like I realized that, people don't want to sit there and watch a 10-minute video. So making sure that we keep it condensed, keep it to a point where everybody wants to watch those on Facebook and sit there and take that time to watch a 5-minute video and go through that. Yeah.
I say this as we record a 20-minute podcast.
Yes.
But it's a little different.
Podcasts are definitely different, yeah. But an educational, informational video should be, if you're posting it on Facebook, under 5 minutes.
That's fair.
And then anything on YouTube obviously can be longer because I think people are going there to watch the long form videos.
Yes.
Social media, they're just, on your phone or on your computer and you're scrolling right by it. So you have to make sure that it's going to grab their attention and hold that attention for at least 15 seconds.
At least 15.
Yes.
We can sort of kind of get your attention.
Yes, yeah.
So are you primarily putting on Facebook, or where are you putting the videos? Where?
We do it on, we have 4 main... or I guess 5 main social media posts that we do. YouTube, obviously, we do our long form videos on there. We do Facebook. We add a link on our Twitter page and kind of give a little short blurb because Twitter, you're only allowed so many characters.
Yeah.
And then our LinkedIn page as well. We do use Instagram, but we don't do the long form videos on Instagram. I feel like it's not really that format you go to watch the long form videos. We do kind of teaser images to kind of make them link back to the full video.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then one day you'll be on Snapchat and millions of other...
Who knows, right? That's the thing, is everything, especially marketing, I feel like changes as the technology grows and as people, get more and more intuitive with their phones or their computers or anything like that. It's always changing, and you got to change with the market or you're not going to survive.
I've been testing out some of the other big apps that are out there right now, and I'm going, okay, well these are neat, but they're not monetized yet. Like,
yes.
We haven't figured out how to really market through them yet. So it's interesting to watch that evolution. So
it definitely is, and I think they released at our big conference in Connecticut was that we're actually going to do virtual reality sales.
Oh, really?
So we're so excited to finally release that. We don't have the technology yet, but it is going to be coming towards us, and we thought, what an interesting way to now reformat sales and have them basically walk around their basement with these goggles on and look at what it looks like now as they take them off and what it's gonna look like almost side by side in both their eyes.
So is it VR or augmented reality? Is it like, do you see the room and the changes, or is
you see the room and the changes?
Okay, that's very cool. You could see the mountain lion.
Right? I'm not sure what they did about that one. I'm hoping they removed it, at least for the homeowners.
Oh no, I'm not put the goggles back on. No, I'm safe. I must be safe.
I'm safe.
The goggles tell me I'm safe.
Yes, yeah. So
that's awesome.
So that's something new, and that'll be something interesting now to market towards as well. And having that information, and maybe that might draw a few more people to be like, you know what, I just want to even see what they have to offer through this.
That's quite the experience, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
We're hoping no one, we've seen these videos online of these people who do have the goggles on, and next thing you know, they're falling over, or they're getting into accidents. So we're hoping safety first.
Safety first, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So I have noticed one of the things that you also seem to do really well is branded shirts and clothing.
Yes,
and
we are always branded.
Yes. Yeah, the branded vehicles, all of those sort of things.
Yes, yeah. So I make sure anytime something new or someone new comes into our shop, we have to make sure that it's fully stickered and logoed and branded with our brand on it, and that we make sure that our new people, whether that be production, sales, customer service, or even our service department, all have our logo on them. We're Team Advanced Basement Systems, and they know who they're having come to their home all the time.
That makes even from homeowner's perspective. Yes, words are hard. That makes sense, right? Now you're walking with a branded sort of. You look more official.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That's so that's great. What any other secrets, tips you want to share about marketing communication since you're here? Gotcha.
Yes. So another big thing that we do from that's different than your typical contractor is that we actually send out pre-mailer information. So we give anybody who books a free estimate with us gets an informational package with a science-proven book that we get. They get the information on their sales guys, their pictures, what they're going to look like, what time to expect them at, and any other information that they've asked for that they talk to our customer sales reps over the phone about. It's all provided in a mail package, and it's shipped out to you within that week before you're gonna have us come up there.
So you're not asking people to be there between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m.
We try to narrow it down a little bit more than that. Yeah,
a little more than that. No, I'm not picking on any companies out there that do that, but
it's hard as a homeowner, right? Because then you have to take the full day off for them to come between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. and you're like, okay, well. Then you realize they show up at 5 o'clock. You're like, I could have definitely went to work that day.
Could have went to work. Yes.
It's a little difficult, but yeah, it's it's something that we like to do, and we want to make sure that people are happy with our service and what we're providing for them.
That's fair. Okay, hard questions. Do you remember your social media tags off the top of your head?
Yes. So our Instagram one is at Team Basementy.
Team Basementy.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the part where I start to write that down.
Yes. Take notes.
Okay, got it. Team Basementy. Yes. It really is Basementy.
It is, yes. And I believe our Facebook tag is also at Basementy.
Okay. All right, I promise I will put these in the show notes. So,
yes. I think other than that, I know it's just advanced. If you just search Advanced Basement Systems, even on Google, our Facebook page is, I think, the third page that should come up on the Google search.
There you go.
I made sure I had that had that in there. Google search is important too, and having your number one, I guess, is always important, right? You got to be ranked number one. People find you faster.
It's true. It's the big tool to help.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was great.
Anything else you want to share? I feel like we're... how much time have we got? Oh, we've been 20 minutes. Let's look at that.
Oh, perfect.
But, so anything else you want to share about what's going on? What's fun?
Well, I guess November is Radon Awareness Month.
Radon Awareness Month.
Yes.
Okay.
So we want to promote that it's important that you get your test kits, radon test kits in your home.
Okay.
Because radon is one of those gases that come up from, or is just caused naturally through the soil, and can come up through a crack in your house, anywhere, whether it be an open sump hole or just a tiny little hair crack in your floors somewhere, it comes up through there, and it's very dangerous. It's actually the second leading cause of lung cancer.
Really?
In the world, yeah.
Wow.
And you know, you don't smell it, you don't see it, you don't taste it. It's just in your house and you're living with it. So it's so important to get it tested. And this month is Radon Awareness Month for Canada, so we think it's important.
They can get kits through you.
Yes.
Roughly, what do they cost?
Roughly, I believe. Oh, don't quote me on that. I don't want to say because I don't know the cost off the top of my head. But they're not expensive. It's, you know, a 90-day test kit, or you can have our radon specialist come out and do it within 3 days.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's important to get it done and make sure your family is living in a safe environment for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. It's almost a shame that there can't be some sort of like carbon monoxide detector or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's, you know, it's like you said, it's one of those things you don't even realize that you're living with until it's almost too late. So make sure we're proactive about that one.
That's a good one. Good one to be proactive about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great way to end the podcast. Proactive. I love it. Well, thank you again so much. And
thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone for watching. And as Anthony would say, stay classy.